Good evening, everybody, and welcome. So it's 7 o'clock, but we're just going to give a grace of 10 minutes so that a few more people can join us before we start. Thank you for joining early, and we're hoping that you would learn a lot from this session.
Just a bit of an information for all of us who are here. This masterclass on cybersecurity is streaming live on YouTube. So just to let you know that what we are doing here is not just a child's play. We are serious about trying to upskill ourselves and those who want to connect with us. So stay with us. We are giving a grace, like our co-host also mentioned. And so we are giving a grace of about 5 minutes, and then we will kick off. The rest can join in between. All right, stay with us.
Hello, Kingsley.
Jean, do you have a question? I don't think Kingsley can hear you at the moment.
No, I thought we started the meeting already.
Oh yeah, we're just giving a few minutes for people to join in.
All right.
Hi guys, we are still okay. Oh, awesome. We have, absolutely, we have a we have a good number. So we will just start off. If anybody can still hear me, say yes, you can hear me, so we can bring our speaker on board for today. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, yes, we can hear you. And then, yes, and then I still think that 10 minutes is too much a long time to give to people to join the meeting. I mean, for the respect
Okay.
of those who join the meeting early and on time, so we should just
Okay,
start.
no. So just a bit of to cushion your concern. The meeting is for 7. So the grace we gave was 5 minutes. So this is 5:06 and we are starting. So the other time that we waited, we're waiting for the actual time. So we just go ahead and start. We have 2 hosts for today. First of all, my name is Kingsley Okolo. The second host is Nonso Dada, a very fantastic female. We are going to be your co-host for tonight, and the speaker today is who we are going to be having his profile right away, so you guys can have an idea of the caliber of person we want to have on our platform today. So permit me to read his profile as long as everybody can hear me. His name is Chukwudi Theodore Onoje, a competent senior network security engineer with 10 years of experience. He has so far provided enterprise security wireless data center services to 15 and above clients, leading him to be able to provide better user experience and client-based growth by over 85% in the last 10 years. Cisco Chukwudi Onije is a consultant with MTN and a consultant with Cisco, but he works currently with Trent Network. He's been doing this for as long, God knows how long. The following certifications are what he has under his portfolio. They are all called Cisco Specialist Certifications. Number 1, Enterprise Wireless Implementation, CCS EWI. DevNet Associate, CC Dev A. Enterprise Design, CCS ED. All of these 2022 to 2021. Data Center Design, CCS DCD. CCN Enterprise, that's the next one in 2018. Then you have Enterprise Advanced Infrastructure Implementation, CCS EAII. That's 2021 as well. Enterprise Core, CCS eCore. Some of us might not understand what some of these certifications they mean, but really, this is important that you hear them because he might be making references to some of them, hopefully. Cyber Ops Associate, Cyber Ops A, and then Network Associate, CCN A. All of these are Cisco specialist certifications that he gathered between 2017 and 2022. And then out of Cisco, he has Jupiter Network Certified Associate, MIST AL, JNCIA MIST AL. Then the last one is Palo Alto Network Certified Network Security Engineer between 2020 and 2022. So he shortens between Cisco and these other organizations, but primarily he consults for Cisco and MTN. At the same time, he also renders network security services to other organizations. Currently, he works as a senior network security engineer with Trenton Network. Trenton Network is an ICT solutions and enterprise security company. So he has been there since January 2019 to present. Prior to this time, he worked with Global Connections, a network and security infrastructure company, between February 2016 and November 2018. He served there as a network engineer. And some of the awards he has bagged in his own portfolio is he was recognized for 10-year Instructor Excellent Service by Cisco Network Academy in 2023. He was awarded Cisco Champion by Cisco Systems for Social Engagement, Content Creation, and Advocacy in 2021. He received a Pioneer DevNet Associate Instructor Award by Cisco Network Academy as at 2020 rather. And finally, he merited the program ambassadorial deal for cybersecurity by Cisco Network Academy in the year 2019. So the profile that he sent to us is too many. We cannot completely read all of them, but we'll just stop the introduction there. As you can see, the person we want to hear his teaching is quite vast, over 10 years of experience. So I've read his profile. We'll now allow our female host to welcome him and then bring him on stage. So Nonso, please, over to you.
Hi, everybody again. Good evening, and welcome to the training for this evening. So the topic we're going to be doing this evening is getting started with cybersecurity. And I'm sure we all feel comfortable knowing all the certifications and knowing that he's an expert at his field. So listen, be blessed, take notes. I hope we have our writing materials to take notes, and please ask as many questions as you can. Thank you. So we're just going to pass it on to Chukwudi, who is going to come and share with us a bit of his wisdom. Chukwudi, on to you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I just want to confirm if my audio is good and you can hear me.
Yes, your audio is audible enough. We can hear you loud and clear. At least from my end, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can I share my screen? Okay, sure, I can.
You have the right to share your screen, yes. You're a co-host by default.
Okay. I think this is it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good evening, everyone. You already heard my name, and I'm happy to be your host for tonight. Okay, so I'm happy to be your host for tonight, and it's not going to be PowerPoint as usual, PowerPoint presentation as usual. It's going to be very interactive. I'll be doing most of the writing. I have my sketch pad, and this is just the slide I have, just this. And after this, after running you through this, then I would build some roadmaps together. We'll look at some sites where you can get resources. We'll look at the possible certifications you could get, even the ones that are free that you might not know. So the fear that people have, or newbies have, or those that want to get into cybersecurity have, is how to get started. I can tell you that from my years of experience, there is no laid down pattern. There is no particular pattern that gives you a clear map on how to get started in cybersecurity. Most vendors or most organizations will tell you, you need to just get certified. You need to get the Cisco certifications. You need to get IBM certifications. You need to be an ethical hacker. You need to know what Python is. You need to know what this is. So at the end of the day, a newbie becomes overwhelmed and is afraid of embracing a very beautiful career that would have fetched him maybe a good salary or a pay increase or a new life entirely. So a lot of people are scared because they don't have the right information. So my goal at the end of this presentation or at the end of this discussion is to be able to channel your mind on how you can build your own path. You can decide that you want to be a cybersecurity engineer, but you don't want to do anything that has to do with code. Guys, it's totally possible. You can decide that you want to be a cybersecurity practitioner, but you just want to be sure that people are doing the right thing. So in the scope of cybersecurity, there are different careers that you can pick up without even having to touch anything that has to do with codes. And that's why I'm here today. So some organizations will also tell you, or some vendors will tell you, you need to know 10 programming languages, you need to learn Linux, you need to learn this, you need to learn that. Yes, it's true to some extent, but at the end of this presentation, you would be able to go home with something or to live with something on how to build your own career, how to build your own roadmap, right? How to build your own roadmap and how to create a unique path for yourself. So the first thing you need to do if you want to get into cybersecurity is to understand cybersecurity as a field, then also understand cybersecurity and also understand the different categories that make up cybersecurity. So I'm going to move to my whiteboard. So I'm going to give an example, right? So this is Chukwudi that wants to be a cybersecurity engineer. Now I go online and I type, how do I become a cybersecurity engineer? And I see so many links and so many directions and so many, white papers to read and diagnose and get information. But at the end of the day, I don't get the information I need, because even if I go to YouTube, Mr. A is telling me to study this program, Mr. B is telling me to study this. At the end of the day, I'm overwhelmed. Now, what will I propose to you? The first thing you need to do is to understand this cybersecurity. You need to understand cybersecurity first. After understanding cybersecurity, you need to pick a particular aspect of cybersecurity you want to focus on. Now, you can either be an analyst, which I will explain better. You can either be an analyst. You could also be a risk. You could also be a compliance and risk practitioner or risk manager, so to say, any of them. You could be an audit practitioner. You could be an audit practitioner. You could also be there's one more. You could also be an educator. Yeah, this is it, educator. So within this 4 scope, right? These are not just the scope we have, but I'm going to be focusing on this. Now, within this 4 scope, you can choose what you want to become within that scope. Now, when it comes to being an analyst, you have basically 4 tiers. The first tier is being just a tier 1 analyst, right? You being a tier 1 analyst. Tier 1 analysts are only involved in they're involved in monitoring how things behave, whether they behave well or they behave in a way that is not good, and you have to just report them. So these are the tier 1 analysts. So I'll just write, I'll just put 1 here, right? Then the tier 2 analysts are those that have gained years of experience and some level of skill set, right? Yes, the tier 1 analysts, they have skill set, but they can't do much. So see the tier 1 analysts as intern/entry level roles. The tier 2 analysts are those who have they've attained about 5 or 4 years experience, and they can handle some, cybersecurity issues and threats. Now, these are the tier 2 analysts. Now, the tier 3 analysts are those who actually go for the bad guys. So you could see that even in the analyst role, it has a trend that you must follow. So you can't jump from being an analyst to a tier 3 guy who is a threat hunter. You can't be a threat hunter overnight. So there is a trend that you must follow. Now, this is just within the analyst scope. When it comes to compliance scope, there is data protection, there is governance in terms of making sure that organizations meet some certain criteria and standards. There is also compliance certifications, right? You have to make sure that organizations are fully aware of how their data transits different locations. So let me give you an instance. You know, I don't know if you are aware that there is a regulation within CBN that our banks do not keep some certain kind of data outside the country. So it means that that data must reside in Nigeria. And even if it must reside in Nigeria, it must reside in a secured and well monitored environment. So now you being a cybersecurity practitioner, you could decide that you want to just focus on compliance and risk. You cannot decide to focus on these two. So you have no business with Python, you have no business with black screen, you have no business with writing codes, you have no business with firewalls. All you just want to do is to be sure that Chooks in his organization, right, has some kind of firewall that protects him from the internet. And that is your job. That is exactly what compliance and risk guys do. They also want to understand that if your organization is now accessible from, maybe if information is now available, do you have a backup? But you are still within the scope of practicing cybersecurity. Now, I'm going to move quickly to the audit guys. What do the audit guys do? The audit guys work in compliance, they work hand in hand with the compliance team or the risk management team. They come to your environment, or you invite them to your environment, either ways, and they checkmate step by step what you have done, what you need to do, and where you need to be. You can see that in compliance and audit, I have not mentioned anything that has to do with programming or coding or knowing how to configure routers and switches. So these are completely paperwork, but you are still within the cybersecurity scope. Now, for educators are people like me that have years of experience and want to educate other people on how to get into the field. You can also decide not to practice, but be a good educator in terms of mentoring and guiding people. Now, how do you begin? That's another question. So if you choose to be an analyst, how do I begin? If you choose to be a compliance and risk practitioner, how do I begin? If you would choose to be an audit practitioner, how do I begin? Where do I start from? So there are certain entry certifications or training that you must have. It's a must have. If I'm asked the question, what is a router? I can explain because I know what it is. I have seen it before. I have experienced it and I have worked with it. But if a newbie is asked, what is a router? He might not know. Maybe he might think maybe one of those MTN dongles that it's see around or Fiber One dongles. Yes, it might be kind of the right question, the right answer, but it doesn't suit the purpose, right? So this is where we recommend entry. Please, entry. I'm going to make emphasis to it. Entry level certifications, not advanced. And this is where a lot of us get to make the mistake. Entry-level certifications are certifications that give us basic understanding of what we need to know and how we need to apply it. So I would not recommend an advanced certification at this point because it would waste your time. If you want to stay within the scope of compliance and audit, it's going to be a total waste of time if you're going for advanced certifications. But introductory courses, basic certifications and basic webinars and trainings will be a good fit if you are within compliance and audit. However, if you want to stay within the scope of analyst and possibly move up the ladder to tier 2 and tier 3, then you must get entry certifications and at least 2 or 3 advanced certifications. You might decide not to take the certifications, but you are required to have those knowledge to be able to land you a gig or a job. Okay, also, do I have any questions, or do I just continue and take the questions later?
Yeah, you can just continue. People will leave the questions in the comments box, and we'll read them after a while or at the end.
Okay, now for being an educator, being an educator is quite broad, but you can choose on which category you want to focus. So if you want to be an educator for those within the analyst scope, it means that you must have advanced certifications so that you can possibly transfer knowledge as adequate as possible. If you want to stay within compliance and risk, you have to do the same thing as well, because you might have, even in risk and compliance, we have advanced certifications. We have way advanced certifications that focus on data protection and compliance, right? And one thing about compliance you also need to understand is compliance is not just about how data move. It also has to do with your physical environment, where the data is physically sitting. We're talking about like computers where these data are stored, devices and how they are accessed. Compliance also has to do with even the person accessing the door to where the data is sitting. How is it accessed? Is it just a token card? Is it just open and close? So these are some of the things that as an educator, you also need to know so that you can pass knowledge adequately. So with all these things I've said, the most interesting part of this presentation is to actually show you how to find information. So I'll just bring up my web browser. I know most of us would have come across this site. Did I type the right URL? Okay, that's it. Yeah, most of us would have come across this site, but the thing is, have you taken advantage of it? Have you actually gone to the catalog to see the content? Have you looked at it? Have you signed up? Right? Have you taken any course? Right? But I'm going to just go to the catalog and show you interesting pathway courses that you can get your career started today. Right? So if you look at the catalog, we have cybersecurity, introduction to cybersecurity, network basics. You know, we even have data science. If you want to focus on data science, totally fine. But we're going to focus on cybersecurity. Now, we are not actually, I don't want to use this word, but we are not misleading people in terms of having to introduce entry courses. Now, if you look at what I have on my screen, I have cybersecurity, I have introduction to cybersecurity. If I'm going to advise anybody, or if I have the opportunity to mentor someone and the person tells me, oh, Chooks, I want to dive into cybersecurity, I will tell you, don't go for cybersecurity pathway. Go for introduction to cybersecurity. Because this is a field that you don't understand. You don't know what is going on. So I am going to advise that you learn how to pick up yourself from the materials you'll be studying, which means that you have to go as elementary as possible. I mean, kids that go through kindergarten and nursery schools are not, their parents are not stupid, right? And this is the exact approach that we came together as Cisco Networking Academy educators and put this thing together to be able to get people started in cybersecurity and have the right mindset and have the right path as well. So if you look at this course is just about 6 hours. So if you dedicate 30 minutes per day or 1 hour per day, at least in 6 days or 7, 8 days, you should be done. And guess what? You get a recognition for completing this course, a recognition that can be added to your resume. Same recognition can be added to your LinkedIn, which is issued by Cisco via credit, right? So I'm going to go back one more step. Now, when you're done with introduction to cybersecurity, having a broader understanding of, oh, what cybersecurity is, how do I protect myself, how does it apply, how do I go further, then I can advise you to go for the career pathway. The career pathway now is 160 hours. That involves, it has a lot of, so this pathway course is actually certification aligned, and I'm going to talk about it. So within this pathway, you have courses that have been embedded, just for you to understand cybersecurity in a wider scope. So you have risk and compliance, you have endpoint security, you have network security, you have cloud security, and they are all within the introductory scope. So whether you're an educator, whether you want to be a risk analyst, risk and compliance analyst or practitioner, or whether you want to be a cybersecurity analyst, tier 1, 2, and 3, depending on how you want to stay your career, you can actually start from here. Right now, Cisco introduced another certification, entry certification that is some kind of okay, it's an entry certification, but it was not available. It was not available last year. I think we made an argument about it, and finally we got it. Now, sometime last year, YRC 2, who is another big body in cybersecurity, came up with an entry certification, right? And that certification kind of bridged the gap between those who want to dive into cybersecurity and those who are already into cybersecurity and want to make their way up, right? So it kind of created the bridge to bridge that knowledge gap and bring it together. So Cisco also did something like that, which is now referred to as the Cisco Certified Support Technician, right? And this is a brand new certification that was just introduced this year, and the first test is going to be happening sometime in April, right? It's going to be happening sometime in April, and the goal of this is to be able to give people the opportunity, right, to begin their career as a tier 1 analyst. So all you need to do is go through the program, go through the course, explore the certification, right? It's possible that, I don't know for now if you're going to be issued a discount voucher or maybe Cisco is going to give some discount. I cannot tell that now. But what I can tell is that you have access to 100% material that is going to kickstart your career and get you to the level you want to be, right? I'm not just going to focus on Cisco alone. I'm also going to be touching other vendors, right? Then also note that this is a beginner course. This will not give you an advanced knowledge, right? But if you need the advanced knowledge, we can still help you get there. So the second site I want to visit is Kingsley. If you can hear me, I sent you a link. Can you drop it on the chat for me?
Okay, I'll do that right away. Just a second. You sent me different links. Which one is it? All of them or just
the
last one?
I sent you.
You sent me 2. Let me drop the first one and then I'll bring the second one back.
Yeah, just do so. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I sent the first one.
Okay, yeah, this is it.
The second one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So guys, look at the chat box in case you want to look at what he said I should send rather.
Okay. So this is another vendor referred to as IBM. You know, IBM is a very old vendor within the computing scope, right? So they also have cybersecurity pathway courses, right? That you could leverage on to start your cybersecurity career. So this presentation is not Cisco centric. I'm going to try as much as possible to make it as diverse as possible. So you can also leverage on IBM materials and get started, but I'm not sure, you know, they have certifications because I've not really explored it, but I know they have awesome contents as well, right? And one other thing you need to understand is I would not recommend that you stick to one vendor, because a vendor might say this is how things are done, while another vendor might say, oh, this is how things are done. So when you do your mix and match together, you'll be able to filter what works for you and how best to assimilate. So you could also leverage on IBM's free training. I think theirs is IT fundamentals for cybersecurity, and they also have cybersecurity for professionals. So you could leverage on this as well to get yourself started. Another site I want us to visit is YRC2. Yeah, these are the big guys. Okay, while this is coming up, I would think this is blocking my view. Okay. Okay, while this is coming up, we also navigate to this. So I'll just drop this on the chat as well. I'll also share the one for IBM. Okay, I think Isley has shared that already. I don't know why this is not coming up. Just give me a minute. I have internet. Sure, I do. Well, I'm not sure why this is not coming up. Guys, just give me a minute. I'm not sure why this website is not coming up, but just give me a minute. Let me see what the problem might be. I think something might be wrong somewhere, but let me try a different browser. Okay, I think I've seen another one too. Okay, I'm going to talk about ISACA as well, but okay, why ISC2 is coming up? So there is another body referred to as ISACA, I'm going to drop their link. Let me drop this link on the chat so that you can check them out as well. Also, this Issachar is focused more on they focus more on cybersecurity trainings, but they deal more with compliance trainings, compliance and risk trainings. But I think they've expanded even to the scope of analysts as well. So you could check them out. But like I said, try not to skip the bar, right? I would always recommend that you start from scratch. So if you're going to access their trainings, okay, let's click on cybersecurity trainings and see what they have. Exactly. So every vendor that I know would always have fundamentals. They must have something that has to do with entry or beginner level. Nobody is going to take you from, you being a newbie to advanced, right? So always look out for the beginner level certifications or the entry level certifications or fundamentals, so to say, right? I can't tell why ISC2 is not opening. Maybe my internet source is blocking it. But I would share the resources and links with everyone that has joined the call via your emails, and we'll see how that goes. There was one other site that I need to show you. Yes, now this is Cisco's as well. This is Cisco Networking Academy. And I'm just going to navigate to cybersecurity. So you see the course portfolio. So yeah. So now these are the advanced courses. And from here, you can decide to specialize in different fields. You can decide to specialize in different fields. Now, if you want to be a network security engineer, then you're going for network security. Excuse me. Then if you want to focus on cloud, people talking about cloud here and there, how the cloud works and all of that. But yes, but how to now secure it, how to keep it safe, how to make sure that, things are done properly and customer data is secure, then you have to look at cloud security. Now, just to protest a little about cloud security, there is this mindset that when you keep your things in the cloud, it's automatically safe. No, you need to read a document that is tagged as shared responsibility, right? That is a lot of things this is something that a lot of customers don't read. And it's peculiar to us because we don't read terms and services. We don't read, what is this thing called? What's this document called? Terms and conditions. Yes, we don't read that. But when it has to do with cloud, you have to read a document referred to as shared responsibility. Now, the cloud provider or whoever owns the infrastructure would just provide the needs for you, provide you with the computer, the storage, the blah, blah, blah. And you would be responsible for how secure your data is and how your data should move and how people should access your data, right? Unless you want to move that responsibility to somebody else who might be a consultant or who might advise you on the best things to do, right? So that is a very cool career, and just to show you that it's very lucrative, because trust me, the numbers motivate me as well. Okay, let's look at cloud security jobs. Cloud security engineer role. Okay, let's just look at jobs. Right. And there are jobs everywhere, right? There are jobs even in Nigeria, outside the shores of the country. This is just to show you that it's available. Some of them might tell you it is IT network security engineer, but when you go in, you will discover that the IT part of it and the network part of it is actually in the cloud, right? So you can pick that career as well. It's very, very awesome, right? Then for those who want to become analysts, if you're looking at the analyst role or you want to scale up, switch careers into the analyst role, then you should be looking at certifications like cyber ops, right? Cyber ops certification. Now, there is another key certification I want to also talk about. Security, okay, CompTIA, CompTIA Security Plus. Yes, this certification. Now, this certification is not, oh, I don't want this. Let me go to CompTIA itself. Yeah, this is it. So this certification is not vendor-centric. So when I mean vendor-centric, it means it's not focused on Cisco, it's not focused on IBM, it's not focused on Amazon. It is just an industry standard of how cybersecurity should be done and things you need to know. So I would also advise that when you're done with the fundamentals and you feel that you want to focus on cybersecurity, you just want to be a nerd in cybersecurity, I would recommend that you go for CompTIA Security Plus before you start taking certifications within the Cisco Specialist certifications or the Juniper certifications or the Palo Alto certifications, or even taking some firewall certifications just to improve your career, or even going for ethical hacking, right? Now, this gives you a broader knowledge. Now, if you are keen on becoming a threat hunter, now you want to be one of those bad guys that stay on their screen and make sure that people are safe. If you want to be the FBI on the internet, fine. You can go to EC Council, EC Council University, or you can go to EC Council certifications, thereabout. You can go to EC Council and look at their certification. Okay, let me go back and see. Let me just narrow it to EC Council certifications. Yeah. Let's look at this. Looking for a roadmap. Yeah. Yeah, good. So EC Council certifications, this is where you now become a proper cybersecurity geek, right? You look at certifications like certified ethical hacking, certified penetration testing professional, computer hacking and forensic investigator. Maybe something happened within an organization, just like we have some of our government parastatals, claiming that snakes swallowed money. You could go there, they could send you as an investigator, and you could go there and investigate these computer systems, just like you have, our armed forces investigate the bad guys and, catch them and bring them to justice. You could also be one of those people, online, making sure that things are done properly, you being an investigator, pointing out, irregularities in systems and all that. And trust me, it is a very well-paid job, but you need to put in the amount of work to get there. So I would just stop here, and so that we can have ample time for questions. And there is something else that Kingsley is going to tell us about. He's going to make the announcement just before the session ends. I'll just leave that to him. But for now, I think I'm done with my presentation. Over to you, Nonso.
All right, thank you very much for that presentation. That was very insightful. I think it's time I become a Texas. Okay, so I'm just going to read some of the questions that we have in the comment section. Somebody said you should address internships, and same person also says many of us have enough basic certifications, all we need is internship. Same person also says, how about CompTIA N+ and SEC+? So he has added you on LinkedIn, and yeah, so he's just waiting for your feedback.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take the internship question. So now most Nigerian companies are afraid of internship in terms of giving people the opportunity. But I know for one that where I work right now, we give a lot of internship, and I'm not sure we have any opening now. I would have offered to help. We are quite full right now. But what I will tell you is, how often do you leverage your social platforms, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, even your Facebook? How do you leverage them? You could put out a word there, put out what you're doing, and let people see what you're doing. Let people know that you offer this service. Because I can't tell you that this company offers internship, that company offers internship. But put out a word there. Some people are just looking for some companies are just looking for that curious guy, that wants to move from point A to point B, and you might be lucky somebody might just reach out in your DM.
Can I talk? Please, can I talk now? So,
Yes, please go ahead.
Mr. Chukudi, I really appreciate you. My phone will go off anytime from now, so that's why I just.
Okay.
You see, what I noticed about this cyber security and the thing is, many people actually know are capable of things, but because it's not shown in real life experience, to be like a kind of burden for them. So I will appreciate if it would help people. Somebody like me, I have networking essentials, I have just cyber, I have my Google IT support, but I didn't scout for internship based on that. I'm still in 400 level computer science.
Okay.
So I would appreciate if you just help people on how to get their hands dirty. Apart from all this try hacking, let them just try to. I don't know how you do it. How to let them have real life experience before taking the paid certification. Because if I found out that I'm not trying to be a master, sir, I'm still a young boy. Sorry, I found out that many people will actually go ahead to write the CompTIA, like my community now. Our target is to write CompTIA plus so that it give us general knowledge apart from Cisco infrastructure. Now, all people will write the computer security because they will pass based on reading and all. But when they get their first role, it is another thing. So I will appreciate. I've added you on LinkedIn, but if you are not going to get attention for anybody by December, I will message. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so this is the thing, right? I don't know how your infrastructure is in terms of setting up a lab for yourself. But just reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you have added me, I have something for you, just to get you to that, for you to just to assist you build a lab, and for you to be competent to some level, before you round up your BSc and be confident that you can do this. Now, let me tell you something. These companies are looking for people that understand the basics. I can tell you for one that in my years of experience, no company is looking for an expert in terms of getting an entry role. They don't expect you to be an expert. So when you come in, you're still going to get trained on the cybersecurity tools they use. Because in cybersecurity, you can't learn all the tools. Trust me, you can't. Right? But a company is going to train you on how they do their own thing and the things they want you to do. Then it is now left for you to now take it to the next step and improve on those skills and take up more take up more activities. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Is it possible for people to start from somewhere, probably as a system administrator, security administrator, network administrator, instead of being focused? Because many people are actually having issues. Some people don't even know about computer, and what led them to this cybersecurity part of research is money, regardless of their passion. And people whistle out in no time. So I don't know if this is true. Probably people can start from somewhere, probably like a network administrator, system administrator, just to know how their way around. Or
Yeah. So let me speak about my experience a little, because I like to use myself as an example. I started as a network engineer, right? Not like I didn't have passion for cybersecurity, but I didn't see where to practice. So I said, you know what, start as a network engineer, let's see how it goes. And I discovered that within my job description, I was in love with more of security devices, firewalls, IPS, and the rest of them. And before you could know it, I was just gradually tinting to that angle. So what I would say is start from somewhere. That somewhere might give you the platform you need, or that somewhere might give you the resources, you know, to start where you want to be or to begin from where you want to be. So the thing is just to start. Whether you begin as a network engineer or wireless engineer, every atom of every device, connectivity, data point needs security, right? So I would recommend that you at least start from somewhere. Start as a network engineer, start as a sysadmin, start as a server admin. As a server admin, you can't leave your server open for everybody to access. You must have a password. And if you want to now do it further, then you now do what I have and what I know. So what I know is your password. What I have might be your token, you know, and it becomes two-factor authentication. So at every point in time, there's security. It just depends on your mindset and how you want to go about it. I think that's what I recommend.
Thank you so much, sir. I will definitely message you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're next. Thank you.
Any other questions? It's already top of the hour.
Good evening, Mr. Chukwudi. Am I allowed to ask my question?
Yes, but just make it quick.
Okay. It's just a quick one. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chukwudi, for this lecture. I've benefited from it as well, but I have a little question so that I can clarify. I'm on the skill for all career paths, basically for cybersecurity. But my question is this: if I'm done with the career path, what's next as to which way should I move towards? Because I always have that in my head, like once I'm done with this, currently I'm on initial network configuration. I'm moving towards writing the final exam to move to the next level. So I'm kind of trying to prepare my mind on what next and which way to move after that. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, so the thing is, Onyeka, thank you for your question and thank you for joining. We really appreciate your time. Now, the thing is, what do you find yourself liking more? Is it network security? Is it cloud? Is it compliance? Is it just? I would recommend that you research first. Research, because every aspect of cybersecurity comes with its own challenge. But the next step is for you to decide where you want to focus. It's just like saying a mechanic or somebody that works in a garage. You can't work on all cars. Yes, you might have an idea, but you would have a particular product or a particular brand of car where you're a script kiddie, where you know your stuff. Like they wake you from sleep and say, "Oh, Jukes, what's the problem?" Say, "Oh, that's this, and that." Right? So I would recommend that you do your research. Take your time, do your research, because this is the most important. This is the most important step in your entire career. You must do your research by yourself and decide what you want to do. Then you can seek advice. Then we can tell you, oh, getting into this is what is involved. These are the things you would face, and these are the challenges, and these are the good side of it. Right? So if you're done with the skills for all, just explore some other courses while you do your research so that you can have a broader view of how networks work. Now, also remember that if you want to be a cybersecurity engineer, you would have bits and pieces of other skill sets, you know, like network engineering, a little bit of Linux, you know, a little bit of how operating system works, you know, a little bit of everything, and putting them up together gives you the necessary skill. Because you can't be a cybersecurity engineer and I'm asking you what an IP address is and you don't know, you know, and I'm asking you, oh, what's the source IP, what's this? Let's not do all those of our jargons here, but what I'm saying is continue with the skills for all, get bits and pieces of those knowledge from skills for all, get the badge, get the certificate, If you're done with the skills for all, you can reach out to me. Reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. I will be able to get you something that would, introduce you to the next level. But it also depends on if you want to focus on a career path. Right.
All right. Thank you. I have.
Onyeka, I hope I've answered your question.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have you on WhatsApp also, so I will reach out to you once I'm done.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Onyeka. Thank you so much. Just before I see that from the view we have, Emmanuel Adelele has his hand raised. And I asked on the chat section if he has a question to ask. But there's no response yet. Do you have a question to ask?
Just to appreciate him.
Okay,
he's a good man.
Go ahead and speak.
Thank you, coach. Well done. And I actually stumbled on this advert on your status, and I'm privileged to actually have you mentor me yet again. He's a good man. He's been my mentor. And kudos to what you're doing. I'm once again, I'm proud of you. Well done. Keep it up.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Thank you for that's Emmanuel Adelele. Adeleye. That's
yes,
Emmanuel Adelele.
That's Emma. Don't mind him. Emma, thank you so much. Meanwhile, you still owe me a course, but we'll discuss offline.
Yeah. So really, like we said, this is YCP Resource Center, but it's not limited to the community of the Catholic faith. We are it's virtual, so we are open globally. Anybody can come and be part of what we are doing. So this is what we do every week. Next week we'll have another trainer who is going to come and speak. But while we are still on this session, there is an announcement we just want to quickly make. It's a special announcement from the host, just to inform all those who attended that the host has been able to provide for those who have interest or who would indicate interest in advancing their career or starting their career in cybersecurity and cloud security. Those who want to take some essential courses, he has been able to provide for us 20 codes. That's 20. Yeah, exactly. That's the name I wanted to look. So 20 tokens for those courses that are supposed to be paid for. So when you insert those tokens, for those of you who understand, the token is like a waiver for the payment. So instead of you to pay for those courses, he has been able to provide 20 tokens for those kind of courses. So if you're interested, it is based on interest. If you're interested, you can reach out to, you can reach out to either the co-host Nonso, or you reach out to me, or you reach out to anyone that you learned about this program to. Reach out to the person that you are interested in the speaker's 20 token access. Whoever gave you the link or who gave you the flyer, if you have access to the flyer, you can chat up the number on the flyer. We will receive your chat and we'll respond accordingly. You can reach out to directly Nonso, the co-host for tonight. You can reach out to me directly, or you can reach out to the number on the graphics that you used, or whoever sent you the link or recommendation. Tell the person you're interested and submit your name. We'll be able to get back to you on that. The tokens, again, are based on interest. If you're not interested, we will not share them to you, in as much as he has given it out for free, but want only those who are interested to make use of it. Before we take the last comment, we have Tega Okukulabe. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced the name well, but Tega, that's the name. Please, you raised your hand. We'll give you access to just say something quickly before we have the co-host take over the session, and then we go towards the end of this session. All right, Tega, over to you. Okay, I see somebody already indicating interest for the token. Fantastic. All right. Tega, go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Chooks. This is Tega. I don't know if you remember me, but you've been influential in my transitioning, and we met like 2 years ago or 3 years ago through Titi. Do you remember me now?
Hi, Tega. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. So
Thank
I
you.
saw this on your status and I decided to jump in. Thank you so much for everything you've been doing in the community. And I would like to contribute to this vision in the littlest way I can.
Okay. So yeah, Tega, so I would reach out, I would share your details with Kingsley and the coordinators, and subsequently we're going to be having cybersecurity sessions. I'll be so happy to bring in I'll be so happy to bring you on board as one of the people I've trained, so that others can benefit from what we have learned over the field. So Tega is, I think, Tega, you're an analyst now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Analyst slash consultant.
Yeah, so Tega is, we met 3 years ago, and Tega has been able to stay his career to being an analyst and as a consultant. So Tega, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Okay, Kingsley,
Okay,
welcome, boss.
so yeah, so we see some people saying they are interested on the chat box. So because we are what we are doing is just taking a screenshot of the chat. So after the meeting, we'll be able to just go through the names here, and then we'll revert to you. We're also seeing some people sending messages on WhatsApp indicating interest. We may not be able to reply at the moment while we are having this meeting, but at the end of the day, Nonso, myself, and the rest of the team will be able to put all the whatever token we need to send to you. We'll definitely get across to you as long as I've indicated interest. So Nonso, please, over to you while we take your final comment, and then through you now we'll go over to Chooks, and if he has any final words, and then maybe we'll now come back for closure. So Nonso, over to you.
Thank you, Kingsley. Just before we go ahead, I see somebody saying he's interested, but his username is unknown, guys. So you might need to send Kingsley or I your actual name so that we can reach out to you. Thank you. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining this class. Special thank you to those who joined very early. That really shows that you're trying to learn and you're very interested in what is going on. And as Kingsley has said, this is a project from the Resource Center of the Young Catholic Professionals of SS Philip and James, Idado. So not much to say, just thank you everybody for joining. I hope we're able to learn, and I hope we would be seeing you in other classes that we're going to be having subsequently. And if you still have questions regarding this topic or any topic you would like us to take, it might not be cybersecurity, it might not even be tech. Anything you would like us to take, you can send a message to Kingsley or me or anybody, and it will get to us definitely, and we can look for ways to incorporate those courses you would like to take into the Resource Center schedule. So yeah, also thank you to Kingsley for co-hosting. You've been amazing as usual. And thank you to Chooks for taking time and agreeing to take us through this course. It was really insightful and it was really helpful. And I'm sure that a lot of people have learned a lot from it. And I'm very sure that your LinkedIn is going to be pouring with requests. So yeah, thank you. And God bless everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much, my sweet co-host. So let's have the trainer for the night say a few words, and then I'll do the closure, and then we end the night. We end the training for the night. So our trainer for the night, please, you have the floor. Just say a few words.
Yes, thank you, Kingsley. Thank you also for coordinating this session and making sure that I was kept on my foot to meet up with time. So just the last words for those of you that will be interested in the course. Please, the value for the course is actually $600. So you would not be doing me good if you're enrolled and you don't finish the course, right? So we have 2 courses available, which is Cisco CyberOps Associate and Cloud Security, right? So these are the 2 advanced courses that will be given out. We'll be giving out 20 tokens each, which will be 40 tokens, but you have to provide an evidence of completing at least 2 courses from the Skills for All, which is the Essentials course. So it's a first come, first serve. We will not be entertaining, please abeg help me now, you be my party. No, we will entertain first come, first serve. And just to let you know, I'm not just going to enroll you in the course and let you be. I'll also reach out to the resource center. Let's see how we can have more sessions that is related to cybersecurity and touch some of the topics within the curriculum as well. So thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, our special trainer, Mr. Chooks Theodore, my very own person. So thank you so much for that. Everybody has heard it. This, please, let's take this remaining announcement as very important. Some people actually joined late and they are concerned about some of the things they missed. So just to inform you, as we're having this Zoom training here, it's live on YouTube. For those who missed it out, we are going to use the same email address that we used to send the link. By the grace of God, we'll send you the link where you can have the recorded audio of this session, not just recorded audio, the recorded session of this very training we had tonight. So we're going to spool it, we're going to download it, put it together, and then send you, for as many people that we have the database with us, we're going to send it, maybe not this night, of course, but within the next few days, we're going to send it. And then those who have also indicated interest, we're going to put the list together and reach out to everyone. So by weekend and early next week, we should have also attended to all the requests that we have on our table, and then we can push out. So this is one, just to properly introduce what we do here. When we say YCP, we mean Young Catholic Professionals. Like Monso mentioned, is our center is SS Philip and James Catholic Church. On behalf of the president, Mr. Emmanuel Amade, and on behalf of the entire Resource Center team, we want to say thank you for being part of what we are doing. Our goal is very simple: to upskill the young Catholic professionals, to upskill the youth, to upskill the community, and to upskill Nigeria globally at large. Anybody who identifies with what we are doing, our desire is to upskill you. Last week, we had 2 speakers, one on CV analytics, one on introduction to technology. Today, we have Chuk speaking on starting your journey in cybersecurity. Next week, one of our resource center trainers is going to be speaking around finance, investment, and all of that. It's going to be massive. It's going to be big as well. So tune in and join us. Every week is our mandate to ensure that we put out an impact out there in the society. Join us every week. We are looking at securing Thursday, or between Thursday and the weekend, we have to have something. So as you continue to join us, we are going to be sharing more impactful trainings with everyone around us. So thank you for joining. Look out for another advert, look out for another training by next week. And as you do so, we'll continue to connect together. We love you all. May the Lord continue to bless us, and as we strive to upskill, God will grant us favor in everything that we do through Christ our Lord. Amen. So have a fantastic night, everyone. We can now end the class. We'll see you next week. Yeah.
Hello, Kingsley.
See you next. Tony, you're here. Okay.
What's up, bro? How you now?
Okay,
I've been following up now.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's our brand designer, the one in charge of all the graphics that we do, the one in charge of our branding. Tony Odogwu.
I'm following live and direct from Bekwara in Cross River State.
Oh, fantastic. All the way from Cross River. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. He's the one that's championing the brand, anything branding, anything graphics, anything. He's the one in charge of the research center branding. So thank you so much, Tony, for joining all the way from where you are. We know you travel, but you've been very, very active. Thank you so much. God bless you. Everyone, see you next week. I love you so much, all. Not so, my dearest.
Tony, we like things from Bekwari.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Goodbye. Hey, the president is here. Oh, please, a few words from our president. President, please, you can say a few words. We didn't know you were already here. Please have the floor, Mr. President, sir. Please have the floor. Say a few words to the people who are listening to you. Mr. President, please say a few words. I thought I heard Mr. President's voice. The people would have loved to hear your voice. Okay, it's fine. No wahala. So we see again next week. The president may not be able to speak at the moment. So we see you next week. Thank you everyone for joining. God bless you all. We'll have another training next week. Take care. All right.